Hey everyone, welcome back to Not Just Moms, the podcast for ambitious women who are ready to live a life that they're obsessed with. I'm your host, Stephanie, and today we're talking about a big one: how to get what you want in life. This idea for this episode actually started with a conversation that I had with my own coach. So we were talking about what I wanted in my business, and long story short, I said, I always get what I want. And she laughed, and I didn't like the laugh. But she pointed out that for a lot of people, just believing that statement could be life-changing. So today we're going to talk about it. I know what you're thinking. If it were that easy, I'd already have it. And you're kind of right. It is that easy, but you're probably just missing the key ingredients. So this isn't about some magic formula. It's about building a foundation so solid that all the things you want will fall into place without you chasing them. So I'm going to share with you the 3 simple but non-negotiable truths that I live by. And when you truly embrace these, you'll finally stop settling and start building the life that you've been dreaming of. So this is for the woman that feels like they have everything, but you still feel like something's missing. So I'm going to show you how to get what you want the easy way. The first truth is this: don't settle. Ever. You know, we've all done it. We've stayed in a relationship that's good enough. Or we've taken a job that paid the bills but left our souls feeling empty. Or we've accepted a life that on paper looks perfect but leaves us feeling unfulfilled. And you and I know that ultimately we do this because of fear. Fear of not finding anything better, fear of being alone, fear of trying and failing. But here's the thing about settling. It's an energy and a vibe that you're sending out. You're telling the world, and more importantly, yourself, that I'll accept okay, or I'll accept so-so, and prevents you from getting everything you truly want and deserve. For me, as a child of immigrants, this belief is only solidified further when I remember my parents' sacrifices. You know, they didn't leave everything behind to give me a life of okay. I cannot let their sacrifices go to waste. I approach my own precious life with that same grit and grind that my parents did when they first came to this country. So this is why I choose to not settle. It doesn't make sense. And once you stop settling, you start stepping into your best future self. You signal to yourself and your brain, like, hey, this is what we like. And that's not acceptable anymore. You learn to carry yourself differently. You demand better. You shift your energy and naturally move towards the things that you truly want. It now becomes a question of when will it happen versus if it will happen, because now you've just opened yourself up to all the possibilities. And this brings us to the second truth: know your self-worth. This is the engine that drives your don't settle mentality. You can't reach for the stars if you never believe that you are worthy of them. I think oftentimes as women, we tie our self-worth to titles, achievements, and accolades. But the truth is, your self-worth isn't tied to your job, your relationship status, or your bank account. We have to go inward. So for my fellow overachievers and perfectionists, I see you. I know this one is a tough one because we're constantly looking externally to measure our self-worth. But the thing is, True self-worth comes from knowing your value simply because you exist. It's about seeing and understanding your own brilliance, your resilience, your unique gifts. At the end of the day, if you look to your job title for a sense of worth, what happens if one day you're let go? Are you no longer worthy of this beautiful life that you were building? So I want you to take some time to reflect. Make a list of your values and what's truly important to you. Are you a kind human? Do you enrich the lives of those around you? Make a list of all the unique traits that make you you. Because you'll see that you're valuable and worthy just by being you. I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, there's no one on this earth exactly like you. So once you master this concept of understanding your own self-worth, sky's the limit. And finally, the third truth, which is the foundation of everything, is to love yourself. And I'm not talking about bubble baths and affirmations. I'm talking about a deep and unconditional love that says, I love myself enough to walk away if I have to. Loving yourself means that you would never settle, right? You would never accept less than what you deserve. And loving yourself is the ultimate act of self-care and empowerment. It's what gives you the courage to walk away from the relationship, the job, or the life that just doesn't feel right. Often as caretakers, we encourage our children or our partners or even our siblings to demand the best. But when it comes to ourselves, we push it to the back burner, right? What about those dreams you had? Maybe later. What about that creativity you wanted to explore? Now's not a good time. We're all waiting for your brilliant self to shine. You don't need to dull your light to let others shine. When you love yourself as deeply and unconditionally as possible, you become your biggest cheerleader. You become your biggest advocate and your biggest motivator. You drown out your inner critic and you only offer yourself compassion and grace. And most importantly, when you love yourself enough to choose you, even when it feels like an impossible choice. So, how to get what you want? It's not necessarily about working harder. It's truly about having these 3 things in place. Don't settle, know your self-worth, and love yourself. These are the principles that should be your non-negotiables. And trust me, the rest will follow. You'll stop accepting less and you'll raise your standards and watch your life transform. And it's not just you who will up-level and transform your life. This will trickle down through every aspect of your life. Your relationships, your work, your family, your friendships, your kids. So remember, I want you to practice one of these 3 non-negotiables this week and let me know how it's going. As always, thank you guys for listening and share this episode with a girlfriend who you know needs to hear this today. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.